Hey guys, we're going to town today because my glasses are in apparently. That was very quick. So we're going to see if we can find anything neat to film along the way. See ya! Hey guys, we made it back from the city. I got my new glasses. Hold on one second. Ta-da! Yay! Oh, these are so much more clear. Yeah, so we made it back from the city and shot a little scenery. Talked a little Bigfoot. You can see right here how beautiful it is today. It's cold, but it's pretty out. This is one of my gorgeous lilac bushes. Give her about a month. She'll be in bloom. Every year we have a lilac festival, and every year the Boy Scouts sell lilacs, and that's where I got this guy from. It was a stick basically when I got it. There's one of the blooms getting ready. I love lilacs. They do so beautifully well up here. I never knew before that lilacs don't really grow well in the south, believe it or not. They're like the only thing that doesn't. But they don't, because they need a hard freeze or else they don't bloom. You can grow a lilac bush, but it will never bloom if you don't get cold enough. So they're a northern flower, and I kind of like that because everything else always does so much better in the south than it does here. Lilacs are kind of our thing. Grab my old glasses off the ground before I step on them. Those are going to be my outside metal detecting, gardening, don't care that they get scratched glasses from now on. I want to take you guys over here. I just heard. Hi, Casey Wasey. Hey, buddy. Aren't you handsome? You are a handsome boy. I can never really get a good shot of his eyes. His eyes are the most beautiful turquoise blue. Pretty boy. But, you coming with me? Of course you are. This is one of my new purchases. I bought a really cool shepherd's hook. These hooks, the bottom ones like this, are adjustable. I just put out my oranges and the grape jelly and the nectar for the Orioles. I just came out here a little while ago and I heard one. So they're here. You kind of got to get them right at the beginning of the season, because if you don't, they'll never come to your feeder. And then, of course, I have hummingbird feeders. We're going to get a lot of shots of hummingbirds. We have a ton of them around here. And then I bought this cute wind chime, even though Mike really hates wind chimes. I love wind chimes, so I won that battle, thank you. But yeah, stuff is starting to green up. I don't know where all these dandelions came from, but they kind of appeared overnight. But I don't mind. There's some of the first food for the bees and the early arriving. Oh, butterfly! I was just about to say, and the early arriving butterflies. They need something to eat. Dandelions fit the bill. You know, somebody thought a rose was a weed at some point in time until they brought it into their garden. All a weed means is that it's an unwanted, unplanted flower, so. Oh, my daffodils are blooming. Yay. And that. Oh, that's my peony plant. Oh. I can't wait. A couple of years ago, our neighbors a few doors down were digging up all the stuff around their house because they were getting their house resided, and they had the most beautiful peonies, and they were getting rid of them basically, so I saved some. There's my daffodils over here too, my all yellow ones, which I hope I'm getting, but I can't really see the screen because it's too sunny. But yeah, I kind of go for the wild look in the yard. I don't go for highly sculpted flower beds or anything like that. I just kind of let things go. I have a lot of wildflowers that grow wild in the area that grow in my garden, and I just let them go. I do have a few. That plant that I right here that I always forget the name of. My sister gave it to me and I can never remember the name of it. And then I have these guys over here that came back and I'm so excited. Those are hollyhocks. And they are, hi Gypsy, they are black. They are black flowers and they are absolutely beautiful. They get to be about, I don't know, 8 feet high or so. And they don't always necessarily come back, but it looks like they did this year. But as you can see, we're turning green, finally. This is my strawberry patch. And yes, I know it's full of grass and weeds and such, but that actually helps the strawberries when they're first blooming. Years ago, a friend of mine gave me 2 half-dead strawberry plants in the fall, and I planted them. And Mike said, those are half dead. And I said, don't worry about it. And they took over this whole garden bed. I used to have another garden bed right here, but in the flood of 2014, it got washed away. I never found a trace of it, so. Yep, but everything's starting to green up. It's looking gorgeous. And as I said, Mike and I did some driving today and talked Bigfoot. Because we're looking at all the things between us and the city, and I mean, when you leave Big Rapids, it's pretty much, there's nothing there. It's fields. And honestly, why couldn't it be there? There's fields and swamps and woods and everything else, and it's just a mess. I mean, there's nothing. And we were talking about that, like if we didn't have these cameras out here at night, we wouldn't know what was going on around here at night. And I bet most of you don't know what goes on around your house at night, because I didn't know that there was all that activity until we set up those cameras. So yeah, who knows? Why couldn't there be, with all these miles of woods and fields and absolute nothingness around here? I gotta show you guys the river right now, though. The river's at this perfect time of day. There's a time of day around here where you can see from the shoreline right down into the river. You can see the bottom. I mean, it's not deep, obviously, but you can see right down into the river when the sun hits it just right, which it is hitting it just right. And you can see if any large fish happen to swim by, you can see them. It's really quite cool. And it only happens for a short time. But yeah, I was really quite pleased with the glasses, because when I got my exam on Tuesday, they said 5 to 7 business days. They called me yesterday and said they're in. So I'm happy about that. So we will catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you enjoy the video. Well, this is looking a little different than it did in the wintertime. Wow, just amazing. A month and a half ago, that was all ice. And there was no green. Yeah, I don't like coming through here in the wintertime. These roads are pretty treacherous. Oh, look at the magnolia. Ooh, she's choppy today. There's whitecaps out there.
And a real nice nice day today, guys. It's only 37 degrees and it's windy. More like mid-March weather.
Yeah, it looks pretty because the sun's out and everything, but it is cold. You don't often see this lake like this. It's usually pretty smooth.
Yeah, look at the shoreline right there.
Wow.
That's crazy for that lake.
Yeah, that is not a big lake. Man, I don't ever think I've seen the lake like that ever. Not that choppy. Any deer? Nope. Usually there's deer standing down there on that road. Alrighty guys, we're almost there. Next picture you see of me will be in new glasses. Yay!
Hey guys, anybody that's been with us for at least a couple months will recognize this. We came down here in February, I believe it was, and flew the drone and watched some of the sunset. And just to give you a scale of the size of the lake, it's much bigger than it looked in that video. And if y'all wonder why Gizmo's growling, there's two kids over there on the dock. Gizmo does not like children for some strange reason that we've never figured out.
He was like that when we got him. We don't know.
But we just thought we'd show you what this lake looks like, not frozen.
But you can tell it's spring because the apple and crabapple trees are starting to bloom.
Like we've been stuck in limbo like 2 weeks. Not a whole lot is greened up. It's just the weather's been so crappy.
Yeah. It was really nice for about a week and a half, and then it just died. But that's typical around here. But there's flowers. Where there's flowers, there's hope. We are just coming out of Big Rapids. And this is how quick it makes the demarcation from city to country. And it's about 25 miles to the outskirts from our house. And there's just these big swaths of areas like this. Swampy areas, just trees and scrub. And that's just this little section right in here. And who's to say something couldn't be living in here that nobody would ever see, nobody would ever notice?
Get a little scattering of houses like this right here. There's about 10 houses maybe.
Yep.
This is just a mile outside the city.
And then this. I mean, even when we lived in the city downstate, there were still deer in the city. Every once in a while, you'd see a dead deer on the side of the road, and you would think to yourself, where could a deer possibly be living in the middle of this city? But they found a way. But yeah, I mean, it's just miles of this kind of stuff. And then a road, and then a couple houses, and then more of this. Yeah, I mean, there's just, look at all this swampy stuff and all this scrub. And I mean, honestly, if they are migrating and they're going south in the winter, it might not just be because of weather. It could be because when all these things lose their leaves, they lose all their cover. They can't hide like they want to. And when the leaves come back, they come back, because then it's going to be too hot for them down south. I wouldn't want to be in the south in the summer wearing a fur coat.
We got miles and miles of woods, miles and miles of swampy land, and then we have miles and miles of
Oh, and look, a rock pile. Oh. Yes.
Tons of farm field too. You know they could easily walk right across one of these fields in the dark. Nobody'd ever see them.
Look at what our trail cameras show. We don't even know what's going on out there at night, and it's right next to our house. Nobody knows what's going on outside at night, unless they're looking.
We've been speculating what brings them back to the rock pile across from our house. What is it about that rock pile? They have so much area they could go in. Why do they come back? Twice for sure that I'm certain of, because I witnessed it myself, and then a little over 2 weeks ago when I heard the other couple rocks be thrown. I'm assuming that's what it was. So what is the draw to that area? Our neighbor Patty's not back yet, so I don't know what the attraction is. What do you guys think the attraction might be?
Is it the elders sitting there saying, don't go close to the humans, leave the humans alone, and the young ones are going, hey, let's go mess with the humans tonight, like a typical teenager. You told us not to, so we're going to go see what we can do. Maybe they like messing with us. Yeah, like in here, again, a few houses close to the road, but beyond that, behind these houses, there's nothing for miles. It's just woods. Plus, there's a lot of other animals now. Where there's humans, there's food.
And there's cool little houses like this one.
Oh, I love that house. Ooh, they're fixing it up. Nifty. I think that was an old church. But yeah, I mean, you know, you get some houses and then this stuff. And then another house. And I mean, like I said, you look behind it and there's nothing for miles. There we go. Okay, we're gonna go into a cemetery that we've never been in before, that we didn't even realize had a road. Holy cow. It is tiny. It is super tiny. We're just like driving on lawn here. Wow. Here, we can get better pictures.
I would have to guess there is less than 40 headstones in this little cemetery.
Careful where you're going. I don't think there's a road over here.
But we'll come back on a much warmer day and check it out. Mm-hmm. Right now I got to pay attention where I'm going.
Yeah, because I don't think this is actually a road.
Oh my God, we're going to tip over.
I'm seriously considering that fact right now. Can we actually drive down that? Wow. No, that's a cemetery best left for ATVs.
That was fun.
Yeah. Okay, we know we can drive in it now. Kinda, barely. But that is a tiny cemetery. We'll have to check that one out though. It won't take long.